Hello, so a bit different. During this video, I mentioned that I can't find the information about how many dice an NPC is supposed to roll when you're attempting to do a challenge, which is when something happens and you need to roll an NPC. I couldn't find the information in the book, so I was talking to Mandy after I finished recording the session, and she suggested, as I had the PDF, which I got from DriveThru, I uploaded that to ChatGPT Plus, and I asked ChatGPT Plus how many dice does an NPC roll. It got a bit confused because I used the example of a swarm, but then second question, it told me. It read through the PDF, dug out the rule set, and told me. It's secreted in a bit called under relationships, so I just couldn't find it. But anyway, so as you know, an untrained NPC rolls 4 dice, a trained NPC rolls 5 dice, an expert NPC rolls 8 dice, and a master rolls 10 dice. May I strongly suggest, if you have any PDFs with rule sets and you aren't able to find rules, feed it to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT, it will find it and tell you really, really quickly. Anyway, now you can hear me do the normal sort of introduction thing to a video. Speak to you later. Bye-bye. Welcome back to episode 2 of The Walking Dead. This will be our first true story episode. We'll run through the solo procedures that Free League have in the core book. To begin the standard things, thank you very much for joining me on this Walking Dead universe role-playing game solo journey. But if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you have subscribed, thank you very much. If you do like what you see, do hit the thumbs up. So, we are beginning the Walking Dead universe role-playing game by Free League Publishing. Now, last episode we went through the setup and I showed you the big map of Sydney, and I said if any, it's meant to be 10 square kilometers per hex per sector, but instead I was using 5, and then of course I could have doubled it, but it's still a really big map. But because the map had come that day, I hadn't really looked at it properly. I only looked at one side, but when I flipped it over, it was actually, they were quite big 20 kilometer sectors, 20 kilometer squares, and so all I needed to do was halve them, and I had the 10 kilometer squares which is suggested. So I have redone the map. It's slightly less detailed, so of course we don't have 5 kilometers per sector, so you're not seeing the streets, which you can on the 5 kilometer per sector per scale map, so they're a little bit wider out. But I've re-put the rumours and our haven into the location. So we have our haven, and then we've got this is the Western Sydney University, so they would have a library that actually specialise, you can look them up, in agriculture. So they would have various different farming agricultural things at Western Sydney University, but also they would have library facilities, and libraries are always useful. It just so happens to be around this area, which I think is Cranebrook. There's a couple of correctional facilities, and when I randomly rolled, there was prisons, so we've got that. This is Marsden Park, where we were intending on going in this episode, which is where the Costco's is, and we had randomly rolled there's a family home, and so I put that up in the, whatever that is, McGrath's Hill and Oaksville, there's in that sector there. We put that there, so that's close. Our faction that we know about, which I called the Blood Ninjas, same thing. Someone suggested Crimson Brotherhood. I quite like that, so unless anyone suggests anything different, we'll probably go with the Crimson Brotherhood. We have Rumour 3. We had a couple of suggestions. Same person did the Crimson Brotherhood, suggested that it was some survivalist. I do like your suggestion of what the survivalist was. I like that introduction into that bit. That's very good. Living in treetops there, and somebody else suggested maybe there's a large supply of water for agriculture, which might be useful over here. And then we've got our other rumours. So this is where the listening post was, and I can't remember what rumour 2 was. That's where the religious community is. That's the thing where I found the what was that called? What was that place called? Lucas Heights. I think that was Lucas Heights. I think that was the Lucas Heights chapel. That's where rumour 2 was. Anyway, so we are in our haven. Our haven is in North Richmond and is a factory. What we will do is we are going to utilise the Free League solo process. So solo session structure starts with Decide how much time has elapsed if it's not the first session. This is the first session. So basically, myself, who is our hero character, Simon Horton, is a psychologist who worked in the hospital sector for healthcare, looking after those people who are having mentally ill crises, so in a psychiatric critical care unit. Simon was a survivor. Simon has their companion is Kai Wilson. Kai Wilson was a nurse. She worked at the hospital with Simon. They both are very much along the morally flexible, does what it takes to survive mentality. They have joined over the last couple of weeks, so they're quite new, a group of survivors who are surviving. So we basically left the city as soon as possible, and we have then joined up with the survivors out in North Richmond in an old factory. There were 4 of them, now there's 6 in total. The group is led by an ex-soldier called Amy Hall, who is very hard-nosed, rules with an iron fist. We then have a Nicholas White, who is an ex-criminal, and he's basically just a bit edgy. He's always winding people up, and he's always being difficult. There's a Damien. Damien was a homeless and he's quite good at surviving on the streets, and so knows where things are. And then we have an engineer called Ronald Green. Now, the group was quite excited to join them because the factory where they've been living has got lots of holes in the walls and is quite battered. Maybe it was damaged during the pandemic breakout that caused the virus. Or shouldn't say pandemic, should I? And so they need to repair, but they need more people to repair, and they're short on tools. So what I decided was, so it needs a tech 2. We do have Ronald, because to secure the walls, so basically the factory as it stands has a defense of 2. So if you're going to secure the walls, then you'd increase the defense a bit. Now let's see if I can find what defense 2 means, and then you can see what defense 3 means. So defense 2 would mean a wooden fence around a farm with a lookout on the roof. So that's kind of what we have now. What we would want to switch to is defense 3, which is a house with reinforced sturdy doors, blocked windows, a fence and a reinforced gate. Now, there isn't a project in the book for defense 3. There's defense 1, 2, 4 projects. So I created a defense 3 project. A defense 3 project, a defense 1 and 2 project needs a tech of 1. A defense 4 project needs a tech of 4. So I said this would need a tech of 2. Now Ronald, who's an engineer, is trained, and a trained NPC counts as having a tech of 1. Simon has tech, but Simon's tech is also 1. So basically what we need is we need to either increase our tech knowledge, i.e. go to the library, get some books, or we need to find a survivor who's got a higher tech to help us fix the wall. We can't do the defense project of fixing the wall at the moment. We also need to get some bricks. So we've got various things that we need to do the defensive project, which is relevant in a minute. The Haven also relies upon food runs, and the Haven has no fresh supply of water, so we need to go and get bottled water or find water as well. And we've got holes in the wall. So, sorry I'm a bit confused. I wasn't too sure how to start this, but I'll get into the flow of it as we go along. Next it says that for each of the clocks, which is the way we measure rumours and things progressing in the background while stuff's going on, is we have sort of drama clocks. At the moment we have 4 drama clocks running. We have our 3 rumours, which is we've got the army base, which is the listening post that might have equipment and has got a swarm there. We've got the NPCs who are in the church where there's a swarm there. And we've also got that dangerous NPC with the useful item. That is a rumour there as well. And we have the Crimson Brotherhood faction as a rumour. So what you do for the clocks is you roll a dice. If you roll equal to or higher than, it might be just higher than. If you roll higher than, you fill in a new sector. And so roll for each clock in your agenda and fill in the segment if you roll above the number of filled segments. So our rumour 1, our armour base, we get a new segment. So the rumour is getting old. the NPCs in the church, we have a segment. The dangerous NPC, we roll a segment, and our faction running around in the background. So they're starting to move out a bit more, and we might start to encounter them. So that's all of our clocks. Create a new rumour if there are less than 6 active rumours on your challenge sheet. We only have 3, so we will now create a new rumour. And to create a new rumour, we will use the the solo rumours process, which is we get our map, and once we've got a wrap, we lay it out. I don't have the top down, I only have the dice camera at the moment. Then we drop a drop a d6 on the map and compare the result to the table below. Alright, so we've got inside around Castle Hill, and we've got a 6, which is soldiers or a military camp. So we have soldiers or a military camp, and then we roll again. 6, 6. If we roll again, it's the same. 4 with a useful item. So rumour 4 is that we know that there's a military camp with a useful item. Let's roll on our themes. We'll roll a couple of themes and see what we come out. And so we're going to use this little orange d6 as the table, and then we'll use black first digit, red second. So we've got table 5, 65. Table 5, 65, 65. Order. Table 5, 13. Exploration. Ooh. Table 5 again. 34. Hope. Alright, so how about there's a rumour that somewhere around the Castle Hill Epping area, now these are all quite sort of built up areas, so there'd be a lot of people around there, that there's a zombie film, or there's a post-apocalyptic film where there's a mobile lab. It might be The Girl with All the Gifts, GIFTS, where there's a mobile lab where they come across that has been out doing research, and there'd be a lot of zombies around there. So maybe there's a rumour of a mobile tech lab with lots of with hope, which possibly has, well, maybe not a cure, maybe a vaccine beginning to be developed. Okay, so rumour 4 is we've got a potential mobile lab with a vaccine. So then we write that down with our other rumours. So that's our 4th rumour, mobile lab with vaccine, and then we fill in the first sector of it. So that might be something that's quite of interest to us. Next on our thing, so create a new rumour if there are less than 6 active rumours. Update your Havens project. So we did that, so there's no update because we don't have enough tech. Decide on challenge and activate it. If the faction clock has been filled in during step 2, it was. This is likely to be your current challenge. If appropriate, run a scene where the other NPCs interact with this challenge. Embark on a run or otherwise engage with the challenge. So, into the meat of it. So what I envisage is, alright, so we will have, what's today's date? It's going to be, today is January the 14th, 2024. So Amy's going to call everyone in. So we've all woken up in the morning. It's a bit overcast today. It's been a bit rainy, though it was incredibly hot and humid over the last few days. It's been really hot and humid over the last few days. Today's much cooler and it's a bit rainy. And so Amy's going to call everyone together in the main area, like that photo that I put up last video. She calls us all into that room where people have picked corners and go and hang out in different places, and she calls us together. So, people, I've got some important information for everyone. We are, as ever, we always have the problem, we're running short on some food and we're running short on some water. Now, I'm going to need to send you out in teams. Nicholas is going to start grumbling. Nick, shut up and let me finish. Now, I could be doing Australian accents for this, but I do an awful Australian accent, so I'm not going to do that. So what we need to do is we need to send people out. I'm going to pick teams and I'm going to send you out. Now, what we said in our relationship was that Amy doesn't like Simon, dislikes Simon, and dislikes... Did we have that? Dislikes Kai? Right, yeah, Amy thinks that we brought the faction down on them, so the faction knows that we exist because maybe we got chased here by them, maybe that's what I was thinking, and so she doesn't like us. So, you two, new people, I need you to go off to a closest area. Now, we know there's some stores within Richmond and there's some small little stores in Windsor, but I want you to try and make your way down towards Marsden Park where there's the big Costco's. I want you to grab as much food as possible and get back. Now, one thing I don't know if we have is I don't know if we have a car. Now, we do have Ronald, who's an engineer, who has technical skills, so we might have a car, but I didn't think about whether we had a car or not. And so, why don't we utilise the Oracle? So how we do Oracles within this is a D6. 1 is an extreme no, 2, 3 is no, 4, 5 is yes, 6 is an extreme yes. But we are going to do it as what's called, you can do it either two ways. You can either have it lucky or unlucky. Lucky means you pick the highest of the 2 dice. You roll 2 dice, pick the highest, drop the lowest. Unlucky means you take the lowest, you drop the highest. So we are going to say that this group is still okay and they're lucky. And so, do they have a vehicle? So we drop that one. So a 3 is no. So because it's not an extreme no, I will say that they have a vehicle. So we have, I don't know, a saloon car. We have Haven has a car, but no fuel. Now, if you can get a hold of some fuel close, local, then maybe you can siphon some out of some other car. Then that means that you'll be able to take the car down to Marsden Park. So maybe your first call of duty before you go down, so as you can load up and get us enough food to actually make it worthwhile, is try and find some fuel. Now, we've gone through all of the garages in North Richmond. They're all dry. We've tapped a lot of the cars, so you might want to move down in from North Richmond into maybe Richmond and Windsor, and go and explore that area and see if you can get some fuel first. So the first point of call, so as we can get down, so Marsden Park is at least 2 days journey by foot, if we were going to do that. So what I'm going to need you two to do is I'm going to need you two to go off and try and find some fuel canisters and bring back some fuel for the car, and then we can go down to Marsden Park and we can actually get some food and bring it back up again. So what we will do for our first challenge is we are going to do a solo run where Amy's going to send us out. Let's see. Actually, what I might do, because I was thinking about this, is I might say, take Amy to the side, and so after she's done that and everyone sort of started talking and grumbling, split up, and there'll be a few interactions between people, maybe Nick would start to try and wind some people up. I don't like him, so I'd avoid him, but he quite likes Kai, who's my friend, so I do want to go with Kai because she's my companion and we trust each other. But if we're going to go and we're going to try and get fuel, maybe taking Ronald with us would be quite interesting, and maybe me with the way I am observing things and want to see people, I would find that quite an interesting thing to do as well. So let's try, or one of our first things is we will go to Amy and see if we can start to manipulate Amy into doing the stuff we want her to do. And she doesn't like us, but we would see her, like Simon would probably see her as just an ignorant soldier. So she is trained in force, she's got an expert in ranged combat, and she's trained in force, but she's not trained in intellectual skills. So let's try and do a solo challenge, player facing opposed roles. So a standard or trained person would give us 1 success we would need to roll, all right? But we can say that because she doesn't like us, we would need to roll 2 successes. So what we're going to do is we would be attempting to go up to Amy. So what we also do within this game is what it specifies is that you state what it is you want to do. The main role isn't rolling, the main thing is saying what you want to do and telling a story. So what we're basically doing is we're going up to Amy and we are trying to convince Amy that it would be a good idea to let us take Ronald with us, because Ronald would be able to help us find the fuel, help us be able to siphon the fuel, and help us be able to get the fuel back from that sector, particularly as if we're moving one sector, is it per day? So according to the rules, what it would be, it'd be one sector per day. So we would take a day to move into the next 10 by 10 kilometre sector by foot, and then we would stay there overnight, and then we'd be coming back. So basically it's a 2-day trip to go out and get the fuel. We wouldn't go out just during the day and then come back again. If we had a vehicle we could do it, but we don't. So to get the fuel, we'll need to be able to get together and go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Amy, and we're going to try and convince Amy that taking Ronald with us is going to solve several purposes for her. One, we've got more chance of coming back because we can carry more fuel. 2, we've got more chance of being able to find it because he's technically capable and can help us get the fuel out. 3, he's not hanging around here causing a problem. And if we hit any problems, then there's 3 of us. That means there's 3 hands, 3 weapons we'd be able to actually get back. So if she wants to get fuel, her highest probability of getting fuel is to let him come with us. So that's what we're going to attempt to do. We're going to attempt to manipulate her. Now we've got a 4 for empathy, which gives us 4 dice, and then we've got a 2 for manipulation. I'm going to look up manipulation just to make sure I'm doing this right. When you want to make another person do or think something by lying, bribing, threatening, or coercing them using manipulation, play out what you'd say, then roll the dice, and success you get what you want. In difficult situations, you might need more than one success. Failure would mean that other person disagrees with you or even starts to dislike you even more. If you talk to a group of people, use leadership instead of manipulation. When you try to make another it's PCs, NPCs. So it's not mind control. We're trying to basically talk her into letting us go. So we don't have any stress at the moment. We're not under stress. But we're just going to attempt to get Amy to agree to let Ronald come with us and not just me and Kai go. So what we need is one success, at least one success, which is at least 1 6. And we don't. Now, is there a way to push things? There normally is in these games, because I really want Ronald to come with us. So to start off with Amy saying, no, Simon, you're new. I do not trust somebody who is way, and I don't know why you're trying to ask to have somebody like Ronald come with you. So between you and I, Ronald is useless. He gets in the way, he just sits around, and he's only very rarely any use. So I'm going to keep him here under my watchful eye because I don't trust you. So maybe if you come back with some fuel, I'll start trusting you. All right, so we might try and just push it a bit, try and manipulate her a while. So we're going to try and push it. So when you push within The Walking Dead, you automatically get 1 stress point, and you automatically add 1 stress die. So for every stress point you have a stress die. Now, if you roll a 1 on a stress die, that's messing up, where we deal with that when it happens. So we're going to say to Amy, look, Amy, I don't mean to undermine your authority, and I can see that you are closely running this organisation very, very well, and everything is running very, very smoothly. But I just want to do the best job possible for you, and I want to prove to you how good myself and Kai are, and we're useful. Yes, we're medically trained. I'm a doctor, Kai's a nurse. We can help you if someone gets hurt, but we want to show you that we can help you more than just in the bad situations. So please let Ronald come with us. We can prove that everything is fine. We'll bring Ronald back. Everything will come back, and we'll be able to carry with 2 extra hands, more fuel. Ronald will know how to get this fuel out of the vehicles. I'm technically trained, so I can do stuff, but just Ronald will help it and make it much easier. So then we rolled again. So this is pushing, so we've taken 1 stress die. Excellent. This coming up a 2, so that's all fine. And we rolled 2 successes, which is what we needed. So Amy says, look, I don't want to do this, but I suppose we're going to have to. Okay, Ronald can come with you. But I'm going to make sure that I'm going to speak to Ronald, make sure he knows what he's doing. So Ronald's also got a toolkit that will help us as well. And he's got the wireless radio. So she will go take Ronald off into one of the little offices and give him a series of instructions. And we will then go off. So the 3 of us will go out on a fuel run. So next, we're going off on a fuel run. We're going on a fuel run. That's a bear hunt. So we're going to go down solo travel. Okay, we'll do things one by one. So basically, we're going to load up. We've each got 2 days of food. So we've got 2 days of food, because that's what you do. So you can take with you when you go out on runs enough food equal to I think it's equal to the capacity. Hold on. Equal to the haven's capacity value multiplied by 2. Our haven's capacity is 1, so we've got 2 rations each. So we can't take any more rations without depleting the supply. So we are going to travel. So next we've got moving around, so we can travel one section, and so we are going to move. So basically by foot, we are going to travel from the haven into this section here of Richmond, into this section where there is also the library there. So we might also, whilst we're here, decide to go and check out the library depending on how dangerous it seems. So we enter a new sector. When you move to a new sector, we need to make a scout roll. That will let us spot danger. If not, it means that people or walkers in the sector will spot us first. Okay, so what we'll say is we'll say the threat level, which I also need this threat level table. We'll say the threat level will start at 1, which is there are walkers milling around, but they've not noticed us. They might suffer a single walker attack if we mess up a skill test. So we will move from the area around North Richmond by foot, carefully, the 3 of us, into the area around Richmond, and then we will make a scout check to start off with. My wits is 3 and my scout is 2. My wits is 3, my scout is 2, and I have 1 stress die. And so we're going to move in, and we will slowly just take and assess, try and get to a high point and assess the area. We get no hits at all, so we'll not be able to see anything. So I am going to put the threat level to 2, which means that the walkers are close by, but they're not aware of us yet. So basically, as we're moving into the area around North Richmond, there's the main road which comes down, there's set traffic lights, and there's a little shopping centre on the left-hand side, and there's a petrol station, I think it's on the right-hand side further down. There's 2 of them, and there's various different cars that have been smashed into that junction point in the middle. And because of that, there's still quite a bit of, some people were trapped in the vehicles who have now died and have risen again. And so they're trapped in the vehicles and they're making quite a bit of noise. Now, what we would then think is maybe those vehicles haven't been tapped, so we can possibly go to those vehicles, but there's a few other vehicles in the area and we need to start scouting around and looking to see if any of them have been tapped for fuel and we can tap them for fuel. But then we're going to have to try and find somewhere to spend the night before we come back out. So we found that section feed. When you go to the gym, will tell you what it looks like. So we just described it. There could be dangers, potential benefit. Actually, shows NPC survival. Okay, so let's roll. How can we do this? How are we supposed to do this? All right, let's roll ourselves a couple of themes and see what we come up with, and see if that will help us if there's anything particular in this area. So we'll do three themes. 143, contamination. Okay. 442, cooperation. Okay. 216, extermination. Okay. So what I'm going to say is that whilst we're then scouting around, right, we are going to be approached by an NPC. Let's randomly roll an NPC. This is going to be an exo. It's going to be an. As we're scanning around, we've noticed that there's a few of the, if you played The Division or any of these things, your plastic floppering in the wind, as there were some contamination tents where the military had set up to do testing of people. So like the COVID testing sites that we got here, I don't know if it's the same everywhere in the world, I assume it was, where there was the bits where you drove up and the people wearing uniforms and they stuck a stick up your nose or the back of your throat. There was bits like that, because to begin with they thought this was just another COVID wave, and instead it wasn't, it was a zombie virus. And so there's various of these bits that we've seen some vehicles and some military vehicles, and Ronald has thought let's go check out those. There's not so many walkers around that area, and they seem to be detecting that we're around. So we are going to go over and start checking out those vehicles. Now, as we do that, a lone soldier is going to approach us. Now we'll so let's do the soldier's issue. NPC issue, 45, hearing impaired. Okay, so it's a soldier, standard military garb, but he's got a tattered NPC suit. We can do his what's that? This is a secret issue. 35. Want someone, something in the group. Want someone, something. Oh, all right. Why don't we just say he's lonely? We're going to say he's lonely. He's got hearing damage from the explosions that went off when they tried defending the area. He's probably hungry. We'll say he's got basic military gear. Let's say, so we've got like NPC gear, roll a d6, NPC gear. 5, ranged weapon, melee weapon, d6 rations, useful equipment. So we'll go, he's got food. So he has 6 food, and he's got ranged weapons. And he's got melee weapons. Okay, so he's got melee weapons. He's a soldier. All right, so he's going to come. Let's go. He will approach us. Tell us, halt. What? I won't shout, but he shouts, "What are you doing in the area?" So we are going to. I'm going to roll manipulation roll in attempting to get him to quieten down, because otherwise we'll raise the threat level, which means that if the threat level goes up again, it would go to 3, which is they're definitely aware of us. All nearby walkers will start to move towards us, and we'd have to fight to get out alive. All PCs present take 1 stress point. So I'm going to attempt to get him. I'm going to say, attempting to get him to quieten down, which would give us 6 dice, empathy and manipulation. Maybe that'll work. Do you reckon? I'm trying to get him to calm down. That's not really manipulation, is it? Maybe we'll just do empathy. It's not manipulating him. I'm just wanting to be quiet. And the stress dice. So all I need is 1 hit to get him to be quiet. No, so I'm going to take, because I'm going to get really stressed, I'm going to take an extra stress dice. And so that means we've got 2 stress dice, and I'm going to desperately say, so I'm going to start waving. And we're all going to sort of like try and keep him quiet, but without panicking him, and see if he stops shouting, stand still. Yes, we've got 1 hit. Oh, 1 hit per 1 walker. Okay, so we've made him. He's successfully quietened down, and he's realised it's quiet, but we've messed up. Now messing up is quite cool because we get to see what it is. So there is a messing up oracle. So we can either say that, so when something messes up, either the threat level can go up, which would go to 3, which would mean that we are going to have to start fighting. We would do, what should we do? So if it goes to 3, we would say that there's a minor attack. So basically we get attacked by the zombies, but we could just do, so the threat could go up, or we could just do that some zombies come out and attack us. Maybe they'll eat Ronald. But he goes quiet, but we've got a mess up. So basically we need to think let's roll. We'll roll and we'll see what happens. So blacks, 10s, 42. On the messing up oracle says an NPC is offended, or you are distressed or afraid, plus 1 stress. Oh, we could do that. We could but that gives us 3 stress. No, let's do a walker attack, because we haven't done a walker attack. So we'll do a walker attack. So basically what's going to happen is that from between the plastic that's fluttering, we didn't notice that the fluttering movement is actually a zombie approaching quietly from the side, and the zombie is going to do a single walker. So I'll look up messing up and I'll read messing up to you, so then you see what I'm doing. And you understand how this part of the system works, because it's a bit abstracted and a bit complicated. So let me read it to you. Messing up. If you roll 1 or more 1s on your stress dice, you've messed up. Messing up generally means that you raise the threat level by 1 step. You have, for example, been loud enough to alarm the walker swarm or failed to notice the walkers until it attacks you. But messing up could also mean other things. The GM decides in which way your PC messes up. When you mess up, it could mean that you alert the swarm by making noise, raise the threat level, fail to notice a couple of walkers who close in, a single attack, run out of bullets, offend someone, hurt yourself, break something important, get lost, lose your hostage. Now, though we're dealing with an NPC, it would seem as though it would be quite cool that he gets pissed off with us and we're annoyed by us trying to shush him. But if we do it that a walker attacks and then kills Ronald, or what we have a walker attack, that might then galvanise him to actually help us, and then we can deal with the situation, maybe get some fuel. So what there is there's a table called walker attack. So we suffer a walker attack. 26. Walker attack for 26 is, it chases after you, you get away, but you must make a mobility roll to not stumble and fall. If you fail, you hit your head on something sharp and take 2 points of damage. So 3 or 4 zombies come out of the plastic and the guy looks shocked. The soldier looks a bit shocked and signals for us to follow him, and he runs off and the 3 of us run to follow him. We start diving over some boxes, and he takes us through a couple of cars which have been piled up in one door, out the other door, and to a camp, and I have to try and make a mobility roll. So I have 3 for agility, 2 for mobility, and at the moment I have 2 stress. I have 1 success, which is on the stress dice. So I almost scratched the top of my head. Basically, I scratched the top of my head, but there's no injury in it. And we get through to where the soldier has been basically surviving. This is where his food is, and we can see he's got a small supply of ammunition, and he's just got the one gun. And so we start to talk to him. What are you doing here? Where are you from? And we said, so we've got a little factory. We're holed up in a factory in North Richmond. Is it just you here by yourself? Oh yeah, I've been by myself for like 8-10 days. John got caught. A couple of walkers came out of a car. We weren't expecting it, and he just got caught. So then we start to talk to him, and we try to convince him that we're here to try and find some fuel. Our camp is running out of food, and we were going to head down to Marsden Park. Oh, you don't want to go there. There's loads. Oh, let's see if he can tell us something. He's got a rumour to tell us. All right, let's do a D6. What's he going to say to tell us? 6. No, that's boring. Let's just roll on the theme oracle. 4, 31. Community. All right, cool. He's going to say that there's people living there. He's going to say, no, there's people living in Marsden Park. They're not going to like you taking stuff. Like, I know some of them. Oh, we can do a chain thing. Because we've got that. We've got some people. Maybe they're going to send us off to do some trade. Yeah, we could do that. I know some of them, and so I could come with you. I've just been on my own, and I can't hear them coming. My ears got damaged in the explosions, like when we were fighting them off back in the early days. And so I can't really hear them when they sneak up on me. Can I join your group? So we wouldn't be too sure if Amy would be happy with that, but we can bring him back, and that might be 1 extra person. And then I can roll him up as an NPC. He may have some technical skills that will help us. Maybe he has technical skills. So we will talk to him. Now what we really want is we need to take back some fuel. So let's do I think it's scouting to do scavenging. So we will do a scouting check and scout the area. So we'll stay in his camp overnight and consume 1 lot of our food. And over the time of the run, we're going to attempt to use this soldier who is this going to have a list of kickstarted people in it? Let's use. Oh, we can use the PR manager who basically organised to send them. Though she's Berman. This is Berman. This is Private Private Berman. Actually, I might start using your names. I could start, if you would like me to use your name in a character, I'll do a poll or something, and you can tell me, yes, please use my name, and I'll start using your names as characters. I'll have a list, and I'll randomly roll, and I'll start using your names as characters. But this is Private Berman, because Bermann. I'm Private Berman. I know, Dave. Private Berman. People call me Burmy. People call me Burmy. I can come with you tomorrow. We can try and find some fuel. I know where there's some fuel, and we can try and scout it out, see if we can get anything safe, and then bring some fuel back. And then maybe, what did you say her name was? Amy. Her name's Amy. Maybe she'll be happy, and then we can all go off and go and get some food. I can help you out. Like, maybe we can do some stuff. I might know some people, or I've been knocking around and I've been around here. So we'll spend the night with Burmy, Private Berman. So we will then do some scouting. Let's do, see if we can get some fuel, take it back, deal with Amy, because this has been long because I'm a bit, I think I've got the, I think all of a sudden I get it. And it's a shame I didn't get it earlier. So scout 2 types. It's survival. There are 3 specific ways to use survival. The first is when you scavenge for food and other resources. If you succeed, you get a roll on the scavenger. Okay, it's survival. So we will give Burmy. So do I have survival? I have survival 1. We will say Burmy is trained in survival and he's expert in range combat. For now, we'll say that, but we might redo it when we do him. So he's trained in survival, which means he gets 1. So I've got a wits of 3, a survival of 1, and I'm under 2 lots of stress at the moment. So the next day we will head back, but we'll see how much fuel we can get. We'll get, how many of us are there? There's 4 of us now. Let's see what I roll. Okay, so we've got 1 walker, which would mean that we will be, whilst we are hunting for fuel, we'll bring back fuel because of him, but it's not enough. It'll be enough to get us to Marsden Park and back, and then that's it. That's all the fuel we've got. But we do have something bad happen. So instead of doing, let's see what. We'll actually use the messing up oracle for this one. We'll do whatever the messing up oracle tells us to do. 33. You are lost or someone important is put into danger. Okay. Let's say, all right, so what happens is let's do a quick oracle theme. 244 44 insanity. We are going to, okay, all right, we're going to put the threat up to 3, which means the walkers know about us. What happens is Ronald is trying to, Ronald goes up to one of the cars in attempting to check it for fuel, thinking that he's safe. He's very oblivious to what's going on. And it just so happens that there's a homeless person living in the car who has gone insane because of and looks like a zombie. And so he is going to come out of the car and start attacking Ronald. Ronald will panic, thinking that Ronald is being attacked by a walker. I'm going to roll a walker attack, but of course it's not a walker attack, it's a person, and so Ronald is going to suffer stress from, Ronald is in danger. So this is, whatever this is, this Ronald, so 55. It's at 55, you're bitten in the throat, blood everywhere, you die. All right, so we will give, because Kai and I are here, Kai is trained in medicine, I have medicine, we will get a medicine check to try and keep Ronald alive. But basically, somebody has jumped out of a car. We think they're a walker. They begin to, so we'll put the threat up to 3. They have attacked Ronald. Ronald screams and falls to the floor as they dive on him and begin to tear at his throat with their teeth. Blood is gushing out of Ronald's throat, pooling on the ground and spraying all over this insane person's face as they turn and come in, running in to attack us. Burmy shoots the bloke in the head, who falls to the ground. This is where Kai and I will rush to Ronald and attempt to save Ronald. I am going to say that to save Ronald's life would be difficult, which would mean 2 successes. I think that's what that would mean in play focus roles. It would be highly unlikely to save his life at this point because we don't have the tools. So to be able to, so he'd be incapacitated, but to save his life and stop him dying at this point is highly unlikely, which means I will need to roll 2 successes. Medicine, I have a 4 in empathy, a 1 in medicine, and we are under 2 stress dice at the moment. We also have the zombies and know that we're here, and they're going to begin approaching us, and we're going to need to make, so they're going to begin swarming, and we will make a mobility. So after this, we'll see what happens. So first off, does Ronald die? Okay, 2 mess ups and 1 success. So Ronald bleeds to death as we get attacked by the swarm. So we suffer a walker attack as they come in and attack us. So Ronald dies as the insane person begins to rot. No, he got shot in the head, so he's all right. So a walker attack occurs. 54 is the same. You're bitten in the stomach. The wound is not that deep, but soon you will get a fever, and within D6 days you will be dead. All right, so who of us gets bitten? If we get back, is that going to be Simon already? All right, we've got, there's 3 of us. 1, 2 is me. 3, 4 is Burmy. 5, 6 is Kai. It's Burmy. So Burmy is bit. In a D6 days, he will die unless we can get medical attention. So he's got 2 days. So at the moment, it's now the 15th, so it's Monday. So he will die by 16th, 17th. So the 17th of Jan, unless we can get him back. And so we will then, so we need to make a mobility roll to get out of here. I think that's right. I think because we've got a swarm coming after us, if we can do a successful mobility roll, we can evade the swarm. I think that's right. Well, they're not quite swarming yet, I don't think. I think we could build them into a swarm. So threat level 3, we can do endure, force, mobility, range combat, or stealth to try and get out of here. If we fail, they get a single attack or they can block us. I think that's how we do it. Winning the round. If you get a total number of... Oh, here we go. We'll do this. So they're basically the swarms. We'll quickly fight a swarm. How long we've gone too long. Once the threat level reaches 3, then the walkers are aware of you and move in for their meal. The situation is dealt with in rounds, as in a brawl. Basically, they attack while you fight to get to safety. Each round, up to 3 chosen PCs, NPCs in the group roll for successes and add up the number of successes. Which skills can be used depends on the current threat level and is indicated by the swarm attack table. What about NPCs? Single attack, single walker attacks, 1 PC. All right, so there's 3 of us. There's me, so I will use, what's my best? I think it's mobility. I think we're going to attempt to get out of here. Mobility or stealth. So I'm going to say we need to get out of here. So I need to roll 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including. Oh no, I think we should increase the stress by 1. So I've got a stress of 3 now, as we're attempting to get out of here. So we've got minimum fuel. Ronald's dead. Burmy got bit. Me and Kai. If we get back and Burmy's dead, Ronald's dead, Amy's going to kick us out. Okay, so I've got 2 successes. So what we need? Now we need 2 character notes. So there's 3 of us. Now, hold on. Let me quickly read this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the NPCs. I don't know how, because I've got 2 NPCs who are also rolling, but I don't know how I deal with those. All right, we'll do it that I roll all of them. So I still make 3 rolls, but the second roll is at a -2. So I will do, well, let's do him with Ronald's out, isn't he? I'll just do this. because I'm not too sure. All right, sorry, I can't find it. I've just spent 10 minutes looking. Can someone tell me how we do the NPCs rolling for stuff? Because I can't find it. Anyway, I'm going to do as normal and just make it me. So we've got, dude is an expert in ranged combat, so we're going to give him a 3 and then a 2. I'm not going to give him any stress dice. He's got 1 success, that gives us 3 successes. And then Kai is going to roll mobility, and we'll say Kai doesn't have the same mobility as me, so she has only 3 and she's got 2 successes. So we've got a total of 5 successes out of that. And it says winning the round, if you get a total number of successes equal to or greater than the swarm threat and the swarm size is 3 or lower, you win the fight. As long as the swarm size is 3 or less, you only need to win 1 round to end the fight. So we win the round. So basically, we leave Ronald behind. So Ronald, as we look back, is being devoured. We've grabbed some canisters of fuel. Burmy has been bit and is clutching his stomach, and we managed to get back to the haven. So we have fuel to get down to Marsden Park, but Burmy is injured, so we need to get him healed. So we need to find, so we do have basic medical gear, but we need advanced medical gear. And then, so next session, so because will be cut down, but I've spent ages trying to look that up and I can't find it. And there's other stuff that I need to get on with. So anyway, we will end there. We went for our fuel run. When we get back, Amy is furious that Ronald has died. So we need to deal with Amy, who's angry that Ronald died. But we have brought back an injured soldier who has skills. So she's got another soldier, so she might be okay with that. But we do have the fuel to go down. But next thing we're going to have to try and get is some advanced medical stuff to save Private Berman's life, basically. That got a bit confusing because I got a bit lost in the whole how do you roll for NPC, so I'll need to read that up between sessions. If someone could put it into the comments, that would be awesome, because it will save me having to do it. Beyond that, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this flows okay once I've edited it, though it felt a bit disjointed to me now. Please like if you've liked, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and next session we will try and find some advanced medical gear before we need to go down and get food, and hopefully try and save Private Berman's life. I'll see you later. Goodbye.